Hello, my name is Scott Corio, and I graduated Mercymount in 1987.
Hi, my name's Christine Corio, and I've been teaching at Mercymount for a total of 20 years.
Hi, I'm Teresa Corio, and I met my husband Sal when he was working for the Sisters of Mercy.
Whoa, mercy, mercy me.
Three wonderful individuals, all connected to Mercymount in a truly extraordinary way. Theirs is a story of family, mercy, dedication, and love for a school that has been an integral part of each one of their lives. It all begins with Sal Corio, husband of Teresa, father to Scott, and father-in-law to Christine. Sal was orphaned as a child, but at age 16 was taken in and raised by the Sisters of Mercy in the very early years of Mercymount.
I think he always thought of them as kind of being
The family.
his family, his mother, more than anything, and I think there was one or two in particular.
Yeah, well, there was about 4 or 5 of them. Sister in the kitchen, there was Sister Evelyn, Sister Jude, and I'm trying to think. I think there was about 4 of them that he looked upon as his real family.
Sal's family says he spent much of his late teens working at the home of the Sisters of Mercy at Mount St. Rita.
He did a lot of chauffeuring. He took them and then he did the laundry.
And kind of a handyman as well.
Yeah.
Soon Sal would meet Teresa, and not long after, they would marry and move into a house on the Mount St. Rita property. Teresa says she and her husband were always close to the Sisters of Mercy.
We had invited them to the wedding, but at that time they weren't allowed to go out. So we went up there.
Sal became a firefighter and eventually rose to the rank of fire chief of the North Cumberland Fire Department. He and Teresa quickly started a family, and there was no question that Mercymount would be the school that their 4 children would attend. Scott remembers the rigor of his classes back in the 70s and 80s and his favorite Sister of Mercy.
Sister Rita Claire was always the favorite. She was very gentle, kind, and always concerned. She knew all of the students and paid attention to everyone.
But the memories were not always happy ones. When Scott's sister was in 7th grade, she would be diagnosed with kidney failure, and life for Darlene and the whole Corio family would be changed forever. Mercymount embraced Darlene with love and prayers as she would begin the journey to find a kidney donor, and that donor would turn out to be her dad.
They always test the parents first. So they asked us, would you like to donate? And of course, both of us said, oh, definitely. So they have to do a workup on you. Yes. And then Sal had his blood matched hers. Mine didn't, so he became the candidate.
Sal's donated kidney would give Darlene a better quality of life for another 8 years. But sadly, a few years after high school, Darlene suffered yet another kidney failure and would begin dialysis for the next 37 years of her life. Yet never once did she complain about her condition.
As sick as she ever was, she just took everything in stride. Because I used to tell her that, Darlene, as bad as you are, look around, there's always somebody worse, because she spent a lot of time in and out of the hospital. In fact, she'd come home and she said, Mom, there was this little tiny baby in the cage, and they had all kinds of tubes in her. And I said, see, Darlene, I said, you're lucky to an extent. But she never complained all her life.
In fact, Darlene dedicated all of her time to helping the school where she began her education. And one of her favorite activities was volunteering at Mercymount's legendary bingo nights.
So with bingo, she enjoyed playing bingo. And while she was here, while she wasn't actually playing any games of bingo, she would be helping out however she could. So whether it was before, when bingo first opened the doors, every evening selling the tickets, she would be helping with selling, because back then there were paper bingo cards that you would buy. So she would be selling the paper bingo cards or the markers that go with it so you can mark them. And then before the game started, she would, then partake in playing bingo for the night and clean up afterwards and whatever else needed to be done.
Darlene would also spend countless hours helping Scott's wife, Christine, now her sister-in-law and teacher at Mercymount.
She used to actually come in and help me set up my classroom in the beginning of the school year. She would organize everything in my drawers. She would get all of my paperwork organized. She would I have this thing called a monkey binder, and she would put all the papers in for the year for the students, and she loved it. She's probably has me ready for the next 3 years, actually, with things that she had done prior. It would be like cutting and tracing things, and she loved it when we would get the class list, because she would just look through and kind of ask me about them throughout the year, like, how is Susie doing? You know, oh, I remember Susie in the beginning of the year, she was having a hard time writing her name. Is she getting any better at that? I mean, she was always the behind-the-scenes girl.
And while the students never saw Darlene, they came to know and love her work.
They would say, is this an Auntie Darlene project? Or did Auntie Darlene help you with this? And they would, you know, sometimes they would write her little notes or thank yous, and they really appreciated everything that she did behind the scenes.
Sadly, in July of 2022, Darlene lost her battle with kidney disease. But what was never lost on anyone who knew her was the great blessing of her life and her legacy of love and perseverance that will inspire generations to come. That legacy would be solidified as she joined her dad Sal in the Mercy Mount Hall of Fame, an honor accepted posthumously by her brother Scott.
Darlene never thought about what she was not able to do. She only focused on what more she could do. She had a spirit and energy about her that made us laugh, a strength and determination that made us humbled, and a fierce loyalty to family, friends, and the Sisters of Mercy that made us proud. I know she is absolutely thrilled to be in the Mercy Mount Hall of Fame, an honor she now shares with our father, who received this award years ago.
And for Scott and Christine, the legacy continues with their 2 children. Both boys would attend and graduate from Mercy Mount, treasuring their memories of the school, Auntie Darlene, and knowing that Mom wasn't too far away in another classroom teaching.
It was probably one of the best decisions we made. Both boys flourished here. We just talked to them last night, just telling them that we were doing this interview and asking them their fondest memories. And Ryan said that it was the fact that he came in 2nd grade and the group of families were just absolutely amazing. And David was given opportunities. He was in the plays all 3 years, and he really enjoyed that. So I always just think of the opportunities our children had here, and the fact that I could check in on them if I ever needed to throughout the day.
What began with the Sisters of Mercy, compassion and helping those in need, live on today in the Mercy tradition. The Corios are forever grateful for the bond that was forged with the school in those early years and still strong 75 years later.
Well, I think it's wonderful to see that it's still running in 75 years later.
To me, it's just Mercy Mount is family.
And no family could be happier to celebrate Mercy Mount's latest milestone than the Corios.
Happy 75th, Mercy Mount.